we're looking at our collar and sleeve game. We're going to just do some attacks from the shallow lasso. So we talked about from here, if I snag that first grip, obviously I want the collar, orange posturing. So this was the time to put my back on the mat and throw in the shallow lasso. You never really use the shallow lasso so far to attack with. If Aaron wants to get close to me, I can keep him back with this. But primarily, he's disengaging. This leg, I want that. He's posturing. But for him to pass, he needs to make that grip. And when he does, now I find that. Then I find the shoulder, and now I want to be in the two preferred positions, which is either foot on the hip or the De La Riva hook. Does that make sense? These are much stronger than this. But the good thing about this is, usually if I throw this in here as in a shallow lasso, now it's not as in a deeper lasso, that would be a different sort of game, but usually when you put this in, they're not really threatened too much with the omoplata and triangle. Does that make sense? And probably from here, let's just say it was late and Aaron managed to get this, he's probably going to stuff that between his legs and step over it. Yes, now we're in trouble. Now we talked about if I was here and he stuffed that and maybe he brings his knee in tighter to pinch that. Yes, good. We talked about we could let go. We learned this on the first week. I would find this and use it as a wedge to withdraw my leg, and even though if he's still controlling that with his hand, yeah, more on this side, yeah. So now from there, I can still pull this out and get inside position even though he's the grip, and then I'm back into woohoo, our whole game. But sometimes what happens is we can't get this leg back out, and we'll show you in the next move how to deal with that. But let's just talk about when I made that shallow lasso and I have the collar. Let's just say from here, Aaron stuffs my leg and we're there. Perfect. Notice the way when he did that, his elbows came away from his body. Because sometimes when people are passing, say he's playing, just turn this way, bro. Perfect. Say he's playing super defensive. I have this. I want my foot in his hip, but he's pulling his elbow back. Now I have De La Riva. But maybe from here he stuffs his leg. He steps around. That's when the shallow lasso has to come in. I can't let him stuff this leg with a De La Riva hook. From now he can start getting close to me, yes, and all that stuff, yes. And that sucks. So I always want to be thinking about when Aaron's trying to pass, he's trying to get close to me. So the De La Riva hook really isn't helping you too much from there. It is when it's here, but if he stuffs it and we're there, perfect. So now the shallow lasso comes in, that keeps it tight. And let's turn this way, bro. But let's just say he was playing De La Riva and he was tight from here. Yeah, elbow back, nice. See the way now I couldn't really get any opportunity to attack the omoplata and triangle. He stuffs this leg, and now as he steps over to pass, there's my shallow lasso. Look what his elbow is. See the way it's came away from his body? It's very difficult for people to maintain that kind of connection and pass at the same time. So all I'm doing from there is I've spotted that. I find the collar, and now from this position, even though he stuffed that, I'm bringing this back up to the hip. And now all I need to do is bring my leg from the shallow lasso position to inside. As long as my knee is between his elbow and his hip, try to pull your elbow back, I'm good. I've occupied that space. And now from here, all I'm going to do is turn the corner and get into my whole omoplata position. And from here, if I can get a shoulder to the mat and start playing our submissions from here, we've already looked at that option. So just stay on that side. So first grip's in. Alright, that's what I'm after. I want that he postures. I fall back onto my back, put in that shallow lasso. Let's just say I'm late, and now he manages to stuff the corner around up here. Notice the way his elbow's away from his body. So I just find this, bring my foot back up again, take the shallow lasso off, and as long as I have my leg occupying the space, now this is the detail, I turn onto my left hip before I occupy the space. That gives me the profile to get my leg in. So from here, before I actually take my foot off and occupy that space, I turn onto my left hip, and as Aaron's trying to stuff that, I just stuff through. Now from there, I don't need to get my leg all the way through. As long as my leg is occupying the space between his elbow and his knee, and I have the collar, now I can just turn the corner. Option one was actually the omoplata, but let's just say the other thing we talked about from here was Aaron was starting to posture. Perfect. From there, I just let go of the sleeve and I underhooked. And now from that position, we chopped the foot in and found that far leg. So if Aaron tries to try to face me, it's difficult. And then I just grab the pants from that position and let go, move my hip out, put in a knee or two, put the hooks in, pull them back, forward, seat back. Okay, so one more time like that, just do this angle. So the first grip we want is this. Alright, falling onto my back, and I'll throw in the shallow lasso. Maybe I get the collar and sleeve and I'm playing De La Riva. Perfect. But now Aaron's really keeping his elbow tight and he stuffed that. So now from this position I need to recover this. Hand can come in, foot comes over, that's the first thing I need. I don't want to get in close to me. And now I can use this to extract and we're back into the same game again. If the elbow's still tight, I'm back into De La Riva again. But at some stage when he stuffs this and I throw this over, at some point there might be an opening here. So I just find the collar, foot comes up, but the detail is before I bring my left leg in, I turn onto my left hip. As I take this foot off, now it's just about me elevating and starting to work the omoplata. If I get him down, that's fine. We're back into the same game. Use him as a crutch, lean on him. Notice the way Aaron's shoulder's not on the mat. Covered this in the Bradley Hill system. I just curl that back to put tension in it. Thigh comes behind his elbow, and then we just lean forward, putting tension in the arm. The other one was the matrix, just got to that as well. So we're playing the game, I have this, fall back, I put in that shallow lasso, maybe he stuffs that leg, perfect. So I'll make that wedge. If I was there, I'm here, I'm extracting this, I'm coming back. At any stage, if I feel that his elbow's away from his body, I don't need to go to foot on hip or I don't need to go to the De La Riva hook. I'm going to go straight into the omoplata from the shallow lasso. I just make that initial grip there, okay? And now I turn onto my left hip, and now from this position, as I take the foot out, my leg's just occupying that space. So even if he pulls his elbow back, as long as I get that angle and I'm in. Sometimes I can't break him down, he's posturing. So now you posture up row. So I just underhook that, and then I just chop that in. Remember we talked about that leg comes to the far side. Aaron's strong if he can get his knee facing my knee, which is why I'm keeping that underhook. And now from that position, I can grab the pants, take out my underhook, move my hip back, and make an X on one leg. Then I come behind him, and we're into. Nothing too complicated there, just working the